Thursday, August the 24th, episode 18 of Into the Void. Tonight's word is census. Is Ahsoka the show that is going to save Star Wars? And what's the real census count on Spawn 306, the Nether Realms variant? eBay's blowing up, and we're going to see how many copies get released tonight and how much they sell for. This is some big comic book history in the variant world happening tonight. Stay tuned. Well, that wasn't too bad for winging it, right?
Yeah, wasn't bad, dude.
Wasn't too. I was like, wait, hold on. I have no intro for this. So those of you joining us, welcome. Happy Thursday. This is, again, episode 18. We've got some breaking news in the comic variant world that is happening tonight that we're definitely going to talk about it. And it's going to be pretty wild. This has started, I think it started... it's a 24-hour auction, so I think it started yesterday night, but now it's starting to blow up. The Spawn 306 variant, one of the rarest Spawn variants in history, known to go for thousands and thousands of dollars in the 9.8, presumed only 50 in existence, just got flooded to eBay with way more than 50. Somebody has them in their back pocket. So we're going to definitely dive into that a little bit further. And, of course, we got a great Ahsoka review. Episodes 1 and 2 just aired. So we're going to cover those, talk about some theories and our feelings. And that's it. What's up, Rev? How you doing?
You said feelings immediately. Like, it was like, that's what people are doing. Some theories and feelings, you know.
People got some strong feelings.
Life-size pillow and a warm glass of milk, you know. Like,
yeah. People got some very strong feelings about this show. Yeah, how you doing? What's up?
Good. Enjoying the nice shade of my back office area here because it's hot as hell.
Yeah,
but
it is.
you know, I'm not going to complain about that. I'm happy that it's hot and not cold because I don't want that cold weather. You can keep that wherever that is right now. Global warming, baby. Global warming.
Can you hear the AC in my office here?
A little bit. It's not bothering anything, though. Let's see what the chat says right here. It's not bothering anything, though, you know. What up, Jono? Fingers and toes. Hey.
What is up, everybody?
Matt, let's go. Hey.
So let's do our quick housekeeping before we dive into this and start sounding off in the chat, too. If you guys want to dive into Ahsoka first or the Nether Realms. The Nether Realms auctions are going to be ending throughout this whole podcast, so we can always kind of visit it here and there. This is going to be great. Kevin,
we can do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Kevin's not 100% familiar with the Nether Realms variant, so this is kind of new to him, and some of you probably might not know about it either, but it's going to be cool. So real quick housekeeping stuff. As always, if you could hit that like button for us, helps push the stream. Let people know that we're out here doing our thing. And then Sunday's video coming out is going to be, I don't know if I should say the context of this video or not. Or should I just let the thumbnail?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I say what it's about, or maybe just like let people guess what is it about?
Okay, I think you should, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to, because I want people to actually like go do homework and try and find more things that we can giggle and cackle at next Thursday. Because if people go out and do their homework and then they watch what you have and then they come back with more stuff, I mean, dude, we're not gonna be able to do the damn podcast because we're laughing so much, you know.
Yeah.
Because there has to be hundreds and hundreds of subject matter out there for this. So please, like, don't leave them in suspense. Please let them know what it is for Sunday.
Yeah, so this is going to be 6 of the weirdest characters ever created in comic history, and just as weird as you think it might get, I promise you, it gets a whole lot weirder. And it's an interesting one. This is definitely one. See the 6 that I found, and then on the video, comment and give me some more that we can do another video on. This could be a part 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, this is gonna be a good video. This is gonna drop Sunday at 10:15. I'm still working on. It's like half edited. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a funny one. So yeah.
We were just talking about it. What's today? Thursday, Tuesday. You and I were talking about it, and just on the phone, you and I were like laughing about how stupid some of these people were.
Dude, I have no idea how crazy some of these characters are. It is pretty wild.
I mean, going online and just looking, I mean, like that's been my I've always loved to collect the most ridiculous characters out there, and you still made me laugh with some people that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
gonna
your
be fun.
homework, people. That's your homework, people. Go out there and find some ridiculous characters, and then see if you can get more than us. Or John's done all the homework right now, but see if you can go find some ridiculous characters out there. They don't. So many of the characters like had one issue where they live and died in the exact same issue that it's so.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true.
So.
Okay, so I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna touch real quick on the Nether Realms variant. We're not gonna go too far into it. Then we're gonna jump into Star Wars, and then we're gonna revisit the Nether Realms variant. So real quick, for those of you that aren't familiar with this, here's the situation. Hang tight. So the rarest spawn variant in the world. I hit the wrong. I made a special like button for this. This is the like button. I forgot about that. The rarest spawn variant in the world is this right here. This is Spawn 306. Try not to read this yet. We're going to read that a little bit later. But if you don't know the story, this is Spawn 306. This came out in 2020, right before COVID hit, and it was going to be at a game convention for Mortal Kombat. This is Spawn's Mortal Kombat variant, pretty much. And so they were going to give this comic book out at this convention. The convention basically got upended because of COVID. Everybody started, getting put on lockdown. So they ended up not having the convention. So there was a very small number of these printed, and there were presumed only 50 in existence after this convention here, or lack thereof, and then the rest were presumed destroyed. So that's the backstory to this Spawn variant here. This thing goes for a lot of money. We're going to dive into the market report later on this, and we're going to dive into what eBay is currently doing later on this as well, because it's pretty wild. This is an event, if you haven't heard about it, if it's your first time hearing about it, you're going to hear about this for the next week. This is major stuff here. This is the kind of stuff that changes comic book, the hobby. And this is like the next acetate gate, pretty much, of what's going on.
Oh,
it's big. This is a big deal, man. This is definitely a big deal.
You're bringing out the oldies but goodies with the acetate gate?
And the Todd father's going to be pissed. Todd McFarlane's going to be pissed for sure.
If the books don't go for a lot, or if they go for a lot?
He's going to be pissed that these things are surfacing. Yes.
Okay.
But let's dive into Ahsoka.
And your feelings.
Yeah, feelings. What's your Rev? Give me your initial impression for somebody who's not super into Star Wars but respects it, knows some of it, and then also is currently watching Rebels. Give me your initial thoughts.
Okay, so in Rebels, what's up? First of all, what's up, chat? What's up, everybody out there? Thank you for being with us here today.
Yes,
appreciate it very much. So, so I'm on episode 5 of Rebels. Okay, so Ahsoka Tano is not in the show yet. Pretty good show. So far, I find what's his name, Ezra, to be really annoying.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I mean, the guy's really just like an Aladdin. He's Aladdin in Star Wars. He literally sings riff raff street rats, while he's running around in the first episode,
He's Space Aladdin.
I mean, he is Space Aladdin. So far he annoys me. Sabine Wren obviously is cool as hell. 90s guy, what's his name? Kanan,
Freddie Prinze Jr.
It looks like 90s guy with a little soul patch. And then you got the girl with the green hair. I thought it was Ahsoka at first when I started watching. And then you have the Muppet guy who's always angry at everybody. Everybody fits their little trope, the little blue guy with Zeb or whatever.
Zeb's the big alien.
Yeah. So I think Rebels is good so far. I enjoy the fact that it doesn't feel like it's completely like a child's show. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's good. Now, episode 4. So then I watched the first episode of Ahsoka, and I thought to myself, all right, these are the characters from the show that I just watched, Rebels. And this is they're at the same base, little tower thing that's in the air, the little. And I said, damn, this looks good. This quality is good.
Yeah.
And then once I figured out the little droid is, what's his name?
Chopper. The best.
He's good. Ahsoka looks good. We're going to get to her little head thing in a second.
Yeah.
Ren looks good. Sabine Wren looks good. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. It passes the eye test for me. I felt weird in that very first part where it looked like she was like in the fifth element, when she's like messing with the stones. But first impression it's good. I don't have a problem with it. Possibly moving a little slower than I want it to move a little bit, but I can't complain. The quality's there. It does not look hokey, even though her head bothers me. It doesn't look hokey. That's my first impression.
Cool.
I'll definitely keep watching.
Cool. Chat, what y'all think? What y'all's first impressions? I love it. I think it's great. So it is a little bit slow, and that is my only gripe whatsoever with it, is that it moves a little bit slow. I don't mind it because I love the characters already, but it drags just a little bit. But it's okay because it is world building, and it is all going to pay off. I do think that they're going to get progressively more quick paced and move further, starting with next week's episode for sure. But I think it's great. It feels like Star Wars. It feels, I think that's something that I've heard the most people say, is that it 100% feels like Star Wars, especially in that first opening 5-10 minutes or so. It's amazing. And it's very refreshing to feel that again. The two new characters, Shin and Balin, are captivating on screen. They're amazing. I think they have a very interesting story. The two Jedi, one born into being a Jedi Padawan. The other one was, a survivor of Order 66. I think that's a really, really cool story that's going to pan out. And super sad. Which one? That's the opening of the show where the two dark hooded figures got off the ship and then they killed all the Republic soldiers. Those two.
The one was Balin, the Punisher.
Balin?
Punisher and the good Punisher movie, and then the other one, the little blonde hair girl,
is Shin.
And she's Order 66.
No. He survived Order 66, and then later on down the line, yeah, pretty much he was a Padawan himself during Order 66.
Okay,
and so ran into Balin at some point, and now she is his Padawan, and I like the whole mirroring of Balin, Master and Apprentice, the name of the first episode, with Ahsoka and Sabine going to be the apprentice. Now, I know the other uproar about the episode is Sabine getting stabbed with a lightsaber and the fact that she survived. There's arguments to be made about it being happened. I think the argument to be made that it's survivable is valid. I'm just tired of people surviving lightsaber stabs, period. Because everybody's like, oh, well, Qui-Gon. This is 40 years after. You do have to assume that there is still some sort of, I know it's all in the future.
Technology's improving.
Yeah, you still have to assume there is some sort of progression of medical technology that goes on. And, Qui-Gon did not have immediate medical assistance. Sabine was found immediately after she got stabbed by Ahsoka, so she was taken care of. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. I would stop letting people survive lightsaber stabs. I'd say like this is the last one. But I was okay with it.
Okay, well let me help you out here real quick. So they did that because it's dramatic, but they didn't have to do that at all. They could have had her side slash like a fucking tauntaun a little bit. And that should have taken her out of the fight.
Side slash, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That could take her out of the fight. It would have. But again, I really don't care. It was kind of cool to see somebody get stabbed, but I didn't realize there was gonna be an uproar about it. I mean, I just assumed that when she was stabbed, it like caught her eyes, so she'd have like a donut hole through her body, maybe, where you could like see through. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. But no, yeah, her healing all kind of fast was weird. I mean, back in my day, people got their hands cut off and they got like mechanical hands, but here she is all flesh and blood again,
Yeah. No, it's okay. I mean, look, they've got Bacta, which is improving. Like if you go to the High Republic days, the new stuff that's coming out, they're just discovering the planet that they make Bacta from. So Bacta is pretty much Star Wars' Neosporin on steroids. It's like a miracle substance. And so when you go further back in the lore, they don't have that medical technology yet. So it makes sense. It's fine. I think it's great. Let's see. Fingers and.
What did you want? Did you want her to die?
No.
Show's over. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. She got
didn't wanna lie.
stabbed. Fuck it. Show's over. The
Yeah.
end. Goodbye. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Congratulations. You got what you wanted.
She needed to take that L, because when you look at that fight, I've only watched each episode once and a half, maybe. But when you look at that fight, she is definitely out of her league fighting Shin. Shin has definitely been way more trained than her, which is good. That's what you want. You know, you don't want your protagonist to you want them to have a journey ahead of them, and she's definitely got one. You could tell that by how she was fighting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fingers and Toes says, I'm enjoying it so far. The only part that bugged me was watching Sabine get impaled and then recovering so quickly. 2 weeks later would have been great. 2 weeks later. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe 2 weeks later would have been good. But overall, enjoyed it very much. Balin Skull, John Silva says. Jono. Yeah, Jono, if you want, I'll get you a link. You can come chat with us. Since you've seen it. Yeah, they should have taunted her. Yeah, a side slice would have been cool. Okay, let me get Jonah this link real quick.
Or what would happen is we would watch Ahsoka walking around staring pensively into space for another 2 weeks if that would happen. That's the one thing that kind of got me. It's like she was just kind of wandering around looking up in the air all the time. You know, yeah. Ahsoka. Again, slow burn. It's fine, dude. It's great. The opening scene where she slices through the grounds with 2 lightsabers.
Badass,
cool.
Dude.
Everything was great. No problem. I mean, like, and so you caught my attention when you said people in their fields, and I would really love to hear like what people are talking about when they get just butthurt about the whole thing. I mean, it's enjoyable.
No, it is, and I haven't talked to anybody but one person. And if you're here in the chat tonight, feel free to let your opinions fly.
Please give us your feels.
Yeah, in a respectful manner. Let your opinions go, but. The majority is, it's great. It's a great, solid start. It's a promising start. There's really, a lot of people that rate it or giving it very high ratings. So the census is good. The question is, though, like we were saying a couple weeks ago, this is a turning point for the franchise and for the Star Wars IP, because it's at such a fragile state that this doesn't need to be okay. This needs to be a smash hit home run is what it needs to be for the morale of Star Wars fans and for Disney. So I want to hear from you guys. Yes, it's good, but is it the right foot forward to save Star Wars? Because that's the long game that we're playing here, and hopefully it is.
Well, we've talked about it before. We always say, like, okay, if this doesn't do it, the next thing will, the next thing will, the next thing will. I mean, but I feel like a lot of the times people just aren't going to be happy. There's going to be somebody who's going to say, like, another failed Disney Star Wars adventure. And I mean, like, what, here he comes. I hear it. But there he is. Hey,
what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
I feel that like people who just want to be upset are going to be upset no matter what. They're just going to be upset. Again, if you don't know anything about Star Wars and you watch this, you'd probably do the same thing I did with the bugs with their head, and then you'd enjoy it.
It's crazy. Last week's podcast, I said, if you don't know Rebels, you're going to go into this and you're going to say, there goes Disney doing their woke thing again. It's literally, I can't find the timestamp of when I said that, but I was like, and that's, I guarantee that. Well, we already know one person that's happened with, and they never saw Rebels. They never saw Rebels. So, there's that. John, what's up, buddy? What's your thoughts on Ahsoka?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same boat. The animation is where I kind of am, not familiar with. But I thought it was great. I didn't feel like I was missing too much. I felt like you did a decent job of explaining where things, what has happened with like little Easter eggs here and there.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I've kind of read up on some of the events that happened leading up to this. So I might be, not the casual viewer.
Yeah. But, you're kind of in that in between.
Yeah. But I loved it, man. I wrote in the chat, like right from the start, everything in red, having the red crawl. I was like, this is it. Like, it got me already.
Yeah.
Ship coming over.
Yeah. Just like A New Hope.
Yeah. It was awesome.
I think it's good too that
it was awesome.
Yeah, I think it's good too that he changed the opening crawl. I like that he changed that. It was just better. It's refreshing, but same but different, you know?
Yeah.
In the words of old Miyagi.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was enjoyable. I thought the stark colors are cool. Like I said, I mean, just because I'm not into the Star Wars lore as much, I tend to focus on the things that would bother me. Like we talked last week about like art and things like that in the show. I mean, like when I was a young kid, I mean, here I am watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and trying to find like how their heads come off and how their arms and legs fit together and things like that.
Yeah.
I thought that let's focus on the technical here for just a second. I thought the CGI stuff was very well done. I really couldn't tell if that little weird cat thing was a real.
cat.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a real puppet or if it was CGI. It looked good, you know.
I think it's real.
I think it's a little both. And I think that's the best way that they can do that is they have certain elements of it that are prosthetics, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, props. And then they implement CGI into certain movements to make it like more fluid. But yeah, and it's great. And they're touching on a lot of really cool stuff that is, for instance, them. Okay, so where Thrawn is, right? That's the big question. Where is Thrawn? And a lot of the theories are going to lie on where is he, what's he been doing, and what is the relationship now that him and Ezra have been far apart. And I think about 5 minutes before we popped on, a little bit of a theory entered my head, but they're deep cutting a lot of this stuff. So there's a couple of mentions of things I have no idea about, but I know of. So for instance, there's mentions of or callbacks to the Knights of the Old Republic, which is a video game when it comes to the people that have the ancient civilization that they're talking about that left that little Zepho type map. The people that they're talking about is related to like a video game.
Shut up. Zepho type?
Zepho, yeah. Zepho is an ancient force type of people. They're actually in Jedi Fallen Order. And then you've also got what's the other thing? Oh, when she mentions the Eye of Sion. The Eye of Sion is from a Legends novel. And so last week, Rev, when you were saying, oh man, he read Heir to the Empire, and he's like, it's not canon. I'm like, but that doesn't mean anything. They will choose random shit from canon and throw it in there. So the Eye of Sion is something that's from a Legends novel that I've never stumbled upon yet. I've never read yet that Dave Filoni's pulling from.
I thought he did a good job. I saw his name at the end, and I just thumbs up to you, sir, Dave Filoni. I thought it was good.
It's the man.
You know, this stuff was kind of like, again, as an outside observer, you mentioned that this is just basically like the 5th season of Rebels. You know, the show. Okay, so I mean, a person like me kind of goes like, this Ezra guy, why is there so much weight on him? And Thrawn, I mean, like, if Thrawn's so powerful and great, how come he just can't find his own way back? Have they put him in the microverse somewhere? Like he's like shrunken away? Like where is he at? And is Ezra actually with him? And they're just kind of like, hey, we pulled the wool over everybody's eyes and we're here together. Are they both bad guys? Who knows?
So check it out. So here's my theory. So when Elsbeth, the Night Sister, the lady that they broke out of jail, Elsbeth,
are you a witch?
Lady Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan Elsbeth. Yep, that's her. When she activated that little map, she says, Thrawn is calling on me from another galaxy. So from the other theory that I read, from a space and time, yes. So from the other theory that I read, those ancient people are from the past. They're from a different time period. So what if when they went through the wormhole, they're actually way in the past. And I was thinking, and they're like, okay, well, that's a different galaxy, right? Is what they're seeing on the map. I hope it is a different galaxy. But what if it looks different because it's from so long ago, the galaxy doesn't look the same. Just like continental drift happens on the Earth. You know what I'm saying? How the Earth doesn't look the same thousands of years ago. So what if it's the same galaxy, but they're just way back in the past? And then as she said the phrase, Thrawn calls on me, the Purgils, Kevin, you haven't gotten to those yet, but they were floating above.
You're melting my fucking mind right now, man.
I'm not done. So
weed? Can I smoke some shit? I can't. Like, what the fuck? I'm trying.
The Purgils are the space whales that naturally have the ability to travel through hyperspace and possibly through wormholes. So as she said, Thrawn calls on me, she saw the Purgils overhead, okay? Mm-hmm.
The space whales?
The space whales. Ezra has the ability to communicate with animals. What if Thrawn and Ezra are working together to get their attention and lead them to the through the wormhole to bring them back? It's the equivalent of Back to the Future 3, where Doc and Marty find the DeLorean buried underneath the railroad tracks from 1885.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sorry, that was a bit of a ramble.
That's an awesome theory.
I couldn't repeat it, but
sorry, that was a bit of a ramble. But yeah, that's a theory.
As soon as she said through space and time and like unlock that, I was just like, oh shit, we're gonna like some kind of time travel thing is happening, or some kind of. The first thing that popped in my head was some kind of multiverse type thing, like some type of Star Wars.
No, don't say it.
And I was just like, oh no, not another multiverse.
I really hope it's not another multiverse. Time travel's fine, but like, don't make it a multiverse thing, you know? But
has there been any type of time travel in other Star Wars stuff?
So technically, yes. Spoiler alert, Rev.
Wait. Tell me what you're going to spoil before you do it anyway.
It's a part in Rebels.
Hold on.
It's something in Rebels. Okay. So one of the best scenes in Rebels, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Rebels, is when Ahsoka Tano fights Darth Vader. And this is close to after she realizes that he is Anakin Skywalker. And so they're having this giant fight, and it doesn't look good for Ahsoka. But basically, we're left with Ahsoka and Vader in the battle. We don't see the end of it, but we find out later that Ahsoka survived, and we're like, how? Like, I get she's great, but still, you're fighting Vader in his prime. How did she survive? And we're kind of left with that question. Later on in the Rebels show, Ezra Bridger goes into what they call the world between worlds. And in the world between worlds, he's actually to see spaces in time that he can jump through. And when he went in there, he saw the fight between Ahsoka and Vader, and he pulled her out before Vader could kill her. And that's why she was saved.
Huh.
It's pretty wild. It's really cool. Very Terminator-esque, you know, that whole thing. But yeah.
So the world between worlds.
Yes.
I mean, do we kind of think that's where they are right now?
No.
Or no?
No, they're in the unknown regions. Okay. They would be in the unknown regions.
Unknown regions. What?
The unknown regions where Thrawn is kind of from, and that's another, I think, ongoing theory too that they're pulling from the novels. That's not canon. Is that so? When you get to the unknown regions, there's a alien race called the Gris, and the Gris is actually a very threatening race to the Chiss. The Chiss is what Thrawn's race is. So there's another theory that Thrawn maybe has seen the Gris and was like, okay, that we in no in the unknown regions.
Unknown regions, sorry.
Unknown regions.
You're thinking of the Nether Realms, which is the variant we're going to talk about later. But yeah, so it's possible that he's met this alien species that is now threatening his people, and he wants reinforcements, because that's the whole reason why Thrawn joined the Empire, because he wants to protect his people, and the Empire was the greatest defense against protecting his people.
All right, I'm with it. I just want to see Thrawn, man. And like I said, I wish I could cut these things.
What about what is it, Maroc?
Maroc.
The Inquisitor, the black.
That dude is awesome. That dude's great.
Is there like? I mean, I saw that there were some theories of who that person might be.
I don't know.
That's not a character from something else, from like Rebels or anything.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be a new character because he's an Inquisitor. He's like a survived Inquisitor, you know? Yeah. Because this is after all the Inquisitor situation was done. So he's like one of the leftover Inquisitors. I don't know who that could be. Might be a new character.
You talking about the guy who looked like Snake Eyes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. That was cool. Listen, I mean, the fight scenes have been pretty cool so far. I'm down with that. I mean, I really liked when the very first opening scene when Ahsoka was like running away from this the whole explosion and things like that. You know,
Dude, those droids, those bombs on those droids were
serious.
no joke.
Yeah.
yeah, the same thing. I was like, okay, the whole place.
I'm like, yeah, the whole place.
And they're like the whole place.
They were cool too because they just stopped and like their chest went out and it's like boop, and I was like, all right, like okay, bombs, and she's like, okay, I run, and I'm like, also you see this explosion? I'm like, all right, now she can slow down.
Yeah.
But no, here comes a massive bomb wave.
Yeah. Let's get some chat stuff. So Fingers and Toast says, I think the stakes are relatable whether you've seen Rebels or not, which was a smart move. Characters act like folks would in their situation instead of projections of a writer or something. Absolutely. So many great deep cuts. They even has Star Wars Old Republic MMO references. Star Wars Old Republic MMO? What am I missing there?
Multi
FNT.
Oh, fuck it. What does MMO stand for again? Multi. Oh my god. Sorry, I've lost some video game card. Yeah. But then we got this one right here. We want to talk about hard things. Yeah. a new player in the game here. Go play 5D chess with multiverse time travel, and then tell us that you like time travel. Okay. Yeah. For all you chess players, I've thrown down the gauntlet. Go for it. 5D
Absolutely.
time traveling chess. Let's go. Come on. Next chat. Here we are.
Oh, I wanted to bring up another thing that came up in that second episode. The pathway to Perdia. Is that what he said? Right? Is there anything else on that? Or
no, not that I know of.
It's just some Jedi folklore that they kind of have for the story.
I have no idea. I have no idea pathway to Perdia what that is. The only thing, that's beyond my knowledge. If anybody knows in the chat,
you gotta stay tuned. You gotta stay tuned now. You gotta find out.
I think it would be smart. Like, I mean, the whole if Thrawn left it in the past is like a cool time travel like gimmick. It's like a cool time travel trick. Mm-hmm. But there's something very appealing about a new galaxy being out there, because I think that's Star Wars' best weapon is also its worst enemy, which is what it has, right? The lore and the expectations of the fans. If you use some of the concepts of Star Wars and just incorporate new fans new characters in different types of, like in this galaxy, there's Jedi and there's the Force. Maybe in another galaxy, there's magic and there's other, different types of users of magic. And maybe they call the Force magic. Who knows? Or maybe magic is just like an expertise level of the Force that nobody's ever obtained yet in this galaxy. So it's like they can really incorporate some new, refreshing stuff. And it's going to take a new galaxy for them to do that.
Is this taking place? And I think we touched on it last week, but is this taking place currently? This is after the third new Star Wars movie. Is this taking place now?
No. This is after Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, this is in between Empire and Return, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So those of you who don't know, wait.
No. This is after. I'm sorry, not after Empire Strikes Back. This is after Return of the Jedi.
After Return, yeah.
This is like around the same time as Mando.
So the Ewok movie has happened, right? The Ewok movie's happened. This is after the Ewok movie.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is before Kylo kills his father, right? This is like
yes.
So right now the good guys are winning. The good guys are more.
Yes.
And the bad guys are like spread to the winds. Okay. And and then Thrawn, who was kind of a bit player but was a rising player in the first wars, he's in exile someplace, and everybody's afraid that if he comes out of exile that he's going to be this massive player.
Yes.
So the interesting thing is that he was obviously handled before the last three movies, So I'm assuming, but something that would be cool is now that we have all those other characters out the way, like the Lando Calrissians and the Skywalkers and things like that. They literally can just kind of start something new. I mean, they can take, but the problem is like Ahsoka and Sabine Wren and all these people like that. They're all, I'm assuming, dead at this point or really old. They have to be old at this point now.
Wait. Say that last part.
So let's just say we're trying to go into like a modern, like today's Star Wars. Like who can they take from? Would it have to be like the New Republic or High Republic people that to start a new world with the High Republic people?
No. High Republic is way in the past. That's 200 years.
Are you talking about if they started a new movie in the current timeline? What characters from this show could they bring in?
I guess none. But what I'm trying to say is, and I should know I'm saying it, but in going forward, we talk about the IP of Star Wars and the whole business of Star Wars, like. You know, people complaining how things aren't done right and blah blah blah. Well, what can they do to go forward to have something new? What can we look forward to as a movie event and say, like, my God, this is happening as we speak? Like, I can't pretend to know what's going to happen because it hasn't been written yet. You know, it's like the thrill, because we've got the last 3 movies sealed up the storyline for the Star Wars. You know, like Han Solo and Skywalker stuff. That's all done, but
that hasn't happened yet.
I know, I understand that, but I'm saying is like in 2025, when the writers get back on business and they can start making movies again, that makes sense. Like, where is Star Wars in the fact that they can make new stuff? Like, what can they do? It seems like everything's still dwelling in the past, and the newest stuff ties up all the loose ends. Yeah, like the last 3 movies tied up all loose ends. So now the Star Wars is literally just like in some purgatory where it's like, there's nothing new, like no new characters, no new no material, no new anything. Like,
so
what would make people happy now, you know?
So yeah, no, you're right. I mean, so the thing is, they've got the only answer to that, because they've got it's like being on a road, and the road is you know your destination, and that's kind of their problem. Is they've written themselves kind of into a corner. But if Filoni just takes certain people that are not in the sequels and just kind of takes that road and paves a new road to a different galaxy, maybe Thrawn is a threat in a different galaxy. And the whole thing is like, let's keep this person here, because one, if he gets to this galaxy and is able to reunite the remnants of the Empire, that is a huge problem. So it is possible. And Filoni has a movie that's going to be coming out that he's going to be in charge of. And it's going to basically be a continuation of all his stuff that he's created. So it is possible. Maybe Disney's like, look, we're going to give you your own thing because the fans want it, but it's going to be in a different galaxy. And you know what? Honestly, dude, I'd be fucking cool with that. Like, I would be cool.
Totally.
I would be so cool with that. If his movie takes place, like when they go to this new galaxy or time or whatever it is, if Filoni's movie were to completely just stay over there, and the whole game is keep Thrawn at bay, keep Thrawn from getting back to the galaxy that we're at now, and have everybody go over there and stay over there, that's fine.
Yeah, you could do 6, 7 movies, that whole thing. You could explore everybody's character. Yeah. You could explore that annoying twerp Ezra. You could explore Sabine Wren. You could explore Ahsoka.
Ezra's
you could explore...
Ezra's cool. You'll like him.
I'm sure he is. Right now, it's like, gotta steal to eat.
No,
Otherwise, we get along. Hey, one step. That's all. I mean, don't they know? Exactly. Like, come on.
It seemed like they've been having a hard time with the Star Wars movies because Rian Johnson was supposed to have his own trilogy, and then Patty Jenkins was supposed to have Rogue Squadron come out, which got scrapped, and it seems like they're having a difficult time. But we have James Mangold is doing a Dawn of Jedi movie, which will be obviously taking place in the past.
Yeah,
and Taika Waititi is supposed to be doing a movie, but who knows if that'll ever get done.
I hope not, dude.
Now? Why is he vilified now? He used to be gold. Now people have a problem.
Because he fucked up, man.
What did he mess up, dude?
Thor. How do you mess up Thor? He made what's crazy is he made Thor kind of great, right? Didn't he do Ragnarok? Yeah, and then he ruined it. it's I think it's every artist.
On Love and Thunder, right?
Love and Thunder. It's every artist's biggest downfall is learning how, not why you do, but how you do what you do. You can't overthink it. You can't be like, okay, let me try to recreate what I did. You just gotta do things, And I think Taika Waititi was like, oh, well, they like Taika Waititi. So I'm gonna give him Taika Waititi, and then like he just was
10.
times 10, right? So he really lost a lot of people by messing up that movie. And
that movie was such a bummer, man.
It could have been such a good.
What a villain! They just literally butchered the guy butcher.
I really can't believe and Jono, I mean, maybe before your time, but the amount of times I've referenced that movie as being like something that could have been so good, and it was just made so bad. Absolutely, was made so bad because, like, my God, dude. I mean, I'm sure you've read the books, but it's the Mighty Thor. It could have just been told from Jane Foster's perspective. I know. Done right, it would have been such a good story. It would have been so good, dude. Ruined, like.
I totally agree. Just seeing what they did with like Christian Bale's, gore, I was just like, man, y'all could have spread this out over a whole trilogy.
Yeah, so
he could have been the next big bad, or like minor bad,
Yeah. Hey, guess we got as Gore the God Butcher. Who did you get? Oh, Christian Bale. Fuck yeah! All right, what are we gonna do?
Only one of the best character actors ever.
We're gonna get rid of him in one movie. Done. Like here he is, like coming out of the primordial ooze, and he like murks that god right there, and you're like, this guy's awesome. And then he's like sad about his
the
kid.
only person we see him kill.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, he's basically asking for hams and eggs from Denny's and saying like, take care of my kid. Like please. I'm like, like what? Yeah, he's a great character. It could have been such a good movie if it actually told it the way it was written. But I mean, and the other thing was, look, I love Guns N' Roses as much as the next person, but my God, like they play the same damn song over and over again. I mean, like, how many times can I hear "Welcome to the Jungle," man? Come on, dude, stop. There's at least another Guns N' Roses song out there that's pretty powerful as well. Right. You could have played Patience, at any of those times. Anyway, Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. He don't deserve. Honestly, he really doesn't deserve a Star Wars movie. He just doesn't.
I don't want to see him do any type of Star Wars thing. I'm very interested in the James Mangold movie, though, for sure.
Yeah.
What else did he do?
Logan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Damn. Okay. Have to reach to the screen and get me.
For starts.
Yeah, I mean, he's done stuff, but yeah, I've always wanted to see a more of a super early on Star Wars film.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about Acolyte because that is going to touch on the High Republic stuff. It's crazy. The other day, 2 weeks ago, when I did the Star Wars market report video, some people were selling their High Republic books graded at a CGC 9.8. I understand if you got a High Republic #1 that's not, you don't know if it's 9.6 or a 9.8 and you just want to sell it and move it. But if you got a graded in-slab CGC 9.8 of High Republic #1, I would not be selling that. They sold it on auction, the second mistake, and it ended up selling for $33. Dude, that's like, it cost $30 to grade that book. They took a $20 loss on that book that hasn't even reached its peak and won't for the next year and a half or 2 years.
You think people are freaking out, though? You think people are freaking out about these books and trying to dump them?
They are, man.
I mean, but real quick, kind of like getting into more of the meta of it here. Like you had mentioned that people would complain about like the woke atmosphere or just having problems with Ahsoka. Like, I don't like what did you see? Because as we were talking to other person who may or may not come on here tonight, when I watch a show, I just tune in. I'm literally watching space creatures.
Yeah.
I never think about the genders. I never think about their sexual preferences. I never think about is a representation. I mean, if I see it, I see it. I'd like to think that I'm that equal opportunity that doesn't affect me. And maybe it doesn't, but I don't care. Is there more women figures than men figure? Maybe I don't care. Like why do people have such a problem with this stuff?
Well, it depends on the IP. It's definitely a thing that is happening in certain parts of Disney. It's definitely not in Ahsoka. 100%. Ahsoka is not at all. Ahsoka is a continuation of Rebels. And like I said, that's why I said a week ago, I said, if somebody's never seen Rebels, and then they go into this movie with already that, that mindset of, hey, this is Disney's going to do some woke stuff. and then they see Ahsoka, they're going to be like, oh, well, there they go again. It's like, well, no, it's just a continuation of Rebels. They're following the story, and it's actually being told amazing. But there's certain people that you're just not going to please, because there have been comments made by, Kathleen Kennedy, and I don't like to harp on her too much unless there's other people that want to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, you
but
do.
I don't no, unless there's other people that want to talk about this stuff. So if there's anybody like, that's like, if there's anybody that feels like, hey, Kathleen Kennedy's not hurting Star Wars or whatever, then I would be happy to have that conversation. But I don't like to just kind of beat her down to preaching to the choir nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? If everybody here knows the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's set on record that, she likes to hire certain women for certain jobs. She's set on record that the Force is female. I don't know why the Force got a gender now, but according to her, she said the Force is female. Yeah, and it's stupid, but moral of the story is Ahsoka is not. Ahsoka is handled by Dave Filoni. It's wonderful, and it's an amazing show, and it's doing really, really well so far. And I think it's going to make a lot of people happy.
Has anybody ever stopped to, I don't know, like knock on George Lucas's door, buy him a 6-pack of Schlitz, and be like, hey, brah, like, what's up? What's going on? Because it's his universe. It's, hey, brah, is the Force female? And then I want to watch that chin beard answer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sure Filoni's done that a couple of times, maybe.
But hey, very good call. Very good call. I mean, like what? But this is the guy who made the universe. And listen, he may not have made the newer stuff because he doesn't own it anymore. But I think that he created the Force. So he can at least tell us everything about the Force and what went into that. Why would it have a gender anyway? We still haven't figured out what it is. You keep saying science, but it seems like magic to me. Literally, I want to have like
I think it's more
a movie.
science.
That's what I said. I want to have a movie where they just dissect the Jedi. I want to see what happens. I mean, like if they cut him open, does his blood fly all over the place because it's the Force?
Right.
Oh,
well, that's
literally dissect.
Sorry.
Just like break them.
I wasn't being intelligent. No, I was being stupid. I'm like, I want to dissect the fucking Jedi. Yeah, I want to like see what happens. I mean, like, what is the Force? Can we contain the Force? We talked about this last week. I want to contain the Force and then shove it into somebody else.
That will come to there's comic series on that. On the Force. Jono and I were talking about it the other day. There's a comic series called Dawn of the Jedi that is going to be in James Mangold's movie if that can ever get off the ground. And that touches more, Rev, on what you're asking for. And that kind of goes into that realm. I don't know how science it's going to get, but it's going to do more to explain the origin of the Force and things like that. Like, I know very little. My little brother knows. I got my little brother on these chats one day. He's deep into Star Wars, and he knows more about like when the Jedi first started. They were called the Jedi, like 2 words, like hyphenated, and then it like formed into Jedi, and like all that stuff is legends, and Dark Horse comics and things like that. Really cool stuff that Filoni will pick from. He does not take the novels and the books as Bible whatsoever. The only thing he takes as Bible is George Lucas, which is a great thing. He's our only
creator.
He's our only lifeline to George that's left. He's our only lifeline to George that's left.
Look, we have to address this because I really want to address this. Fingers and Toes wrote, Love and Thunder was so Love and Thunder was so bad. I really hope he doesn't touch Star Wars, Taika Waititi. But then he writes something that just blew my mind. I want to see Ridley Scott version of Star Wars movie in the Old Republic, not trilogy, but a single movie. Dude, could you imagine
Ridley Scott movie?
Scott as a dude, that'd be so good.
Hold on, I just thought of an idea. I think I'm gonna do a video on it. The top 3 Star Wars directors that should have directed Star Wars: Ridley Scott. Imagine Christopher Nolan directing the Star Wars movie, dude. Jesus Christ. What's another one, chat? What's another director that could handle a Star Wars movie with the care that it needs?
Jon Favreau. No, I was kidding.
Dude. No, Jon Favreau? Oh, no. I was just thinking if he's not alive anymore, unfortunately. But Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, I was like,
hey, What about what is that little meme? I mean, that little reel we saw with Wes Anderson when Wes Anderson did like the Star Wars thing. And he the one who did the
yeah.
bombs and things like that.
Yeah, he did one for somebody did a Wes Anderson Lord of the Rings one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be a good like they should have like a Star Wars movie where it's like it's not afraid to just be fucking balls to the wall action. Like they can be off in like different tangents.
I mean, like trying to think of like an action,
somebody who's just like a
Michael
good
Bay
actor. Yeah, dude, Michael Bay. You're gonna see lots of tears and bombastic firing, like.
It'd be a great skit for a channel would be a singular scene in Star Wars, but directed by different directors. So you've got like the scene with Han and Greedo when you first meet Han Solo in A New Hope, right? When they're at the cantina and he shoots him. That, but directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
That would be fucking cool.
But Quentin Tarantino's sitting at the table instead of fucking somebody else. He's there as well, and because he puts himself in
right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that is that a Wookiee? No, that's Quentin Tarantino with dog his face.
Dude,
that'd be funny.
Good, man. That would be good. They can do that kind of stuff.
That would be hilarious.
Who is a person who did Rodriguez, the Sin City?
Robert. Yeah,
dude. Yeah. It doesn't hurt to be creative. You can have these little vignettes.
Robert Rodriguez. Did y'all ever see that movie, Alita, Battle Angel?
No.
I heard it was good. I did not see it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No. Here's the thing, and you're right, that does sound good, and we're having fun like throwing those hypotheticals out there, but there's a smell test that has to be passed, because part of what we're kind of throwing out there is part of the problem with Star Wars, in that it's majority of the directors are hired hands. Like J.J. Abrams has like a certain love for Star Wars, I'm sure, but Rian Johnson does not. I don't care what Rian Johnson says. After watching his fucking movie, he has no respect for fucking Star Wars. Like, he's made that clear. I don't, so there.
Who is he? Unapologetically, who's Rian Johnson?
Knives Out. Knives Out director.
Oh, okay, never really watched him.
Great.
And then he did Last Jedi.
Yeah, great director. Great director. Not for Star Wars though. Like Knives Out is an incredible movie. Really is well directed. But he just should not touch Star Wars. Yeah, there's two of them. Glass Onion. Glass Onion's that other one. Hang tight.
All right. Okay. Oh, he's off again. There he goes. Must have been something he ate.
Yeah, look, Chris is in the chat. He says Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, basically his failed Star Wars pitch.
Yeah, you saw that trailer? Just crazy looking.
Okay.
Isn't Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon basically his failed? Oh yeah. Chris, yes sir. Chris, do you have Wi-Fi?
We're gonna do this. I hope his Wi-Fi is terrible as we get our awesome little Chris.
If he's got Wi-Fi. Yeah, Zack Snyder's is, and Zack Snyder. I think it's even said it's Star Wars with blood and sweat and sex. Is what Zack Snyder said. Rebel Moon is.
Guy Ritchie, that'd be good.
What you will about Zack Snyder's, his films are enjoyable though. I enjoy them.
So yeah, what was Zack Snyder? Listen, again, we've talked about it before, Jono, that the Justice League Uncut is such a good movie. The uncut version is such a good movie,
Yeah, even his other movies too. I mean, 300, great.
Did he do 300?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, the first movie or isn't there like two of them? They're like
the first one.
Like 300, 301 or something like that, or 300 was a great movie, man. 300. Okay.
This shit.
Rian Johnson is on record video saying his goal is to divide an audience in a major franchise. He literally his shot. I can't say that last word. I guess took a shot at the dumbs that Disney gave him a movie. So he's just trying to do a shit start kind of thing, or what?
Yeah. He basically said like, well, what Fingers and Toes saying, I read this, but Fingers and Toes is a pretty reliable source. He basically said he wanted to devise a major franchise, and I don't know, Disney didn't care that he said that. There was no vision when they hired all those directors. We've gone down that road. There's no vision whatsoever, just division.
Look, good. Let them do whatever it is. It only bodes well for people who want to watch movies.
So
you can challenge the king. Who cares?
A Guillermo del Toro movie. with his practical effects.
Yes.
Mhm.
So here's, I would love to see. Okay, I would love to see Guillermo del Toro do anything with aliens. He's a monster lover. His take on monsters is great. He's actually going to be heading the Universal Monsters division in Universal Studios, which is going to be amazing. I would love to see a solo. So there is that. I keep on going back to this monster, but it's a very cool monster, the Drengir in the High Republic, who feeds off the dark side of the Force. And I think it's a really fascinating, refreshing take on aliens. I think it's a refreshing take on the Force. And that would be cool if like Guillermo did a take on this monster, that it's like the origin of this monster, or maybe some kids that get lost on this planet,
Yeah. I like that. I like the kids I like the kids getting lost one.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Look how excited you guys get, and we're all getting excited about all these things they can do. Like all the things they probably could do. And in today's, listen, if I today watched that little show and I couldn't tell if that little cat thing was a real or puppet, the technology is as such that they can definitely, do these movies now. So I mean, like, but will they? I mean, the Drangir is a great character, good call. But I mean, like, it's such a big character. I understand that, but I mean, like, you start small and you get big. I mean, they can do all these things. These are exciting stories. But will we get these exciting stories, or are we going to get some dumb shit?
Yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know. Hopefully this was a huge learning curve for Disney, for all those execs of this whole thing, the writer strike, the actor strike, the CGI union that's being formed right now, the downfall of most of their streaming platforms. This is all a sign of the shit that they've done. This is all the repercussions of the things that they've done over the past couple of years. Hopefully they're intelligent enough to take all of this data and say, okay, what is the common denominator here? What are we missing? And hopefully they can fix it, hopefully.
You would think, man, it's $1 billion franchise. I mean, like,
well, there is the rumor of like Disney selling certain parts of their property to Apple. There's that rumor going around. The good thing is
failure, though. Is that admitting failure? If you give up any slice of the pie that you bought for $3 billion, are you admitting at least a defeat? Yes. Do you know what I'm saying?
I would think. Yeah, I would think.
Yeah. You're saying like, I can't do the most, so I'm gonna sell it to you so you can do some of it.
Right. No, I would think. I would think for sure. If those of you guys that are just tuning in here, real quick, if you don't mind, hit the like button for us. Help us push the stream. We're gonna be talking about the Spawn variant in just a little bit here, and this crazy ass shit that's going on. Pretty wild.
Can we go live to eBay?
We are
going live to eBay, where people are spending money on nothing.
We are going to go to live to eBay and see how it's going down.
Do you have this timed well? Because if you have this timed well, I mean,
I put a couple of bids in. I didn't win, but I put a couple of bids in.
But I want to see them in. Listen, nothing better than you just know somebody's not getting their money worth on eBay, and you're watching it in, and then they had that frenzy at the end. They're like going up by $20 and $30 in a book that's not worth $30.
No, it's not like that. No, it's not like that though. There is some scarcity to this book. Should we just? I think we've beaten Star Wars with a.
Let me get a beer. Give me a second.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we've beaten Star Wars to death. So we're going to go into the Spawn variant stuff. If anybody else has gotten any other theories for Star Wars Ahsoka, what their expectations are, by all means, put it in the chat. Always love to hear some good theories. When Rev gets back, we're going to dive into this Spawn variant thing. We'll open up eBay and see. Maybe I'll put a bid in. Who knows?
So what is that now?
Well, here's the thing. It's not like it is not it. It's the they. There's multiple books that people are bidding on right now. It's probably, we're going to count them. We're going to go through and we're going to count them because this is pretty. I know, Jono, I know you're kind of like on the side of collect. You read a whole lot. You do trade paperbacks. What do you collect single issue wise? Like, what do you look for? Horror stuff?
Not necessarily. It's just anything that I like, any character that I like.
Okay.
If it's a team up or if it's a, villain of the week issue, something like that. But it really could be anything. It's really just kind of whatever speaks to me.
Sure.
Just like,
hell yeah.
Whatever speaks to me. Yeah.
Hell yes.
All right, now speak to me.
Okay. Let me get this set up first real quick, and then we will dive into.
So here's my thing about Spawn.
Yeah.
Spawn is a book. When it came out, I was very excited about it. I was definitely a disciple of Todd McFarlane. I grew up in the era of him coming around that whole Spider-Man 298, 299, 300 to 317, I believe, whatever it was.
Mhm.
Read all those. Todd McFarlane could do no wrong. Anything he drew, I was trying to get a copy of it.
Yeah.
And then he leaves Marvel, breaks all of our hearts, because who's going to draw Spider-Man? And then the answer was Eric Larson. But then he formed Image, and at first Image didn't have a lot of books. Spawn was like the main anchor book, you know, but I wasn't quite sure that Spawn was what I wanted to read. He was not a very good writer, Todd McFarlane. It's very convoluted. You can see he's working to do things, but at the beginning, it was very convoluted. And I read like the first like 20 Spawn books, and they just didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't like doing anything. So I didn't keep reading omnibuses like an online stuff, because like as much as I wanted to like it and get with it, I didn't like it. It didn't hold me. It wouldn't keep me there. It wasn't compelling stories, even though it should have been compelling. It should have been like, this guy's fighting for his soul and his wife and his kid or whatever like that. It just wasn't compelling.
Yeah.
But here we are, I blink, 20 years and 300 books later, and multiple spinoffs and things like that. And so, I mean, I guess the writing got better. And look, he was touched by the hand of God and getting Greg Capullo to do all the art for him, because Greg Capullo is just as good, if not better, in a lot of ways than Todd McFarlane. No doubt about it.
He's amazing.
So here we are, 320 books later, if not more. He's in that range now, 320, you know, like Spawn, the ongoing series, you know, not the Spawn universe, but I don't even know if Todd McFarlane even does he even do like a series of books anymore? Or is he just Todd McFarlane playing with toys?
I think he does most of the writing on Spawn. I don't think he draws too much Spawn anymore, but I think he does do a lot of the writing still. Okay, so we're gonna go. All right, quick backstory before, if anybody's not familiar with this book, let me see the. Hold on, this is getting wild. Hold on.
Yes.
Is it 306?
It is 306.
Okay.
It's called the Nether Realms variant. We're gonna do a whole backstory situation, and then I just want to get the eBay ready.
Yes.
That way we like.
Let it burn. Let it burn.
Let's see. Anybody in the chat? Does anybody in the chat know about this variant? Or is this new to you guys? Leave a comment.
Where's Dark Claw at? Can someone summon Dark Claw? I feel like Dark Claw would have some good knowledge on this. You know, Albert, if you're
Dark
out
Claw,
there,
yeah. Dark Claw knows about this for sure. Okay,
I'm gonna try and summon it.
What's the date today? 18th. What's the date today? 24th.
Yeah, 24th.
Okay. Something's different here. Something's weird. Okay, so basically, let's do this quick backstory. Then we're gonna come back to this. Okay, so here is get the fuck out of here. Okay, so here's our variant here, right? So this is Spawn 306. This is the Nether Realms variant. Like I said earlier, this variant was released in 2020 at a gaming convention that was supposed to go to the contestants for the gaming convention that were going to be playing the new Mortal Kombat game. COVID hit right as this thing was going on. The convention never played out how it was supposed to. So this book was given to the people running the convention to give out, and it never played out. So this is the quote when Key Collector approached Todd McFarlane for this book. This is the quote that Todd McFarlane gave to Key Collector on the scarcity of this book. So he says, so this was a small event to begin with. Only a couple of hundred issues were produced. It was canceled to the public, but it was still held in private for the players. What we were told was that less than 50 copies were distributed by the event organizers to the players and their plus ones. The rest, along with the the rest, along with all the other free, it says swag was trashed due to cost of shipping it because 2MK for Mortal Kombat offices. We have worked with them before, so there's no reason to believe that this was not the case. I know the guys on some of the spawn groups are pretty relentless when it comes to rare spawn issues, and I know several of them reached out to the players themselves to get a copy. I think it would be fair to say that less than 50 copies exist out in the wild at this point. I hope this helps.
Does not help, Todd.
So, okay. So basically, this at one point. Now let's go to Go Collect and look at Spawn. This is Spawn 306. The name of this is called the Nether Realms variant. All right, and hold on. Let me share my screen real quick.
The Nether Realms.
The Nether Realms variant.
I mean, when will I grow up?
He. Okay. So, Nether Realms variant, a 9.8. So here's what? What? Can you see it?
Look at the price. Are you fucking kidding
You see it?
me?
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. So what I want to see is the peak that this sold for during COVID. Before we get into what's going on today, let's go back. Let's take it back through a little peek through time. Okay, so 9.8. This is all 2023 stuff. This is where shit starts to get sticky. Y'all can see the screen, right?
Pretty good, yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh my God.
2022, 4,500. So 5,000. There was one for 5,000. I thought there was more than that, honestly. So, anyways,
why?
So you've got a book here that there's been said to be 50 copies of. It was known for literally the past 3 years as the most rare spawn variant to ever hit the market. Now, when we look at Go Collect and we look at universal graded copies, can you read that?
Whoops.
That says 73 graded.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now here's the thing. Even with that, there is a reason that could say 73, even if there's only 50 out there. CGC has an issue with people that crack and press comics. So what happens is if I get a comic, it's a 9.6, I crack it out, I send it back in for a 9.8. When that comic got to me originally, CGC recorded that it's a 9.6. If I crack it out and send it back, they're not taking that off of their census, that 9.6, unless I send them my label back with the comic saying, hey, this comic was cracked out of this grade. So nobody wants to send their old label in to their grader saying, hey, we're trying this again. You need to take this off of your census. People just send their books back in. So many books, the census does outweigh what the actual copies are because of people cracking and pressing books. So 73 to 50, that is still at a point where you could say there could still be maybe 50 of them out there. Okay.
Johnny, what does it matter? What does it matter? You're talking stock market. I mean, people see that number and it's a confidence game. I understand what you're saying 100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a confidence game at this point. I mean, like, okay, let me tell you what, if I see 73 graded and I went through that slog of what McFarlane just said, like, oh, no, we work with the Mortal Kombat people and we just pretty much know they wouldn't do that. No, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't, buddy.
Right,
like, and I'm not being rude at all, but I'm saying
you're 100% right.
You've got, let's say there's 100 in existence and you say there's only 50, bro, no one just threw those in the trash compactor. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? And it's not even human nature. And I'm not trying to be a scumbag by saying it, but I mean, like, yeah, Todd, no problem. Because what do you think is going to happen? You think these are going to all get out like crazy? There's only 100. So you kind of think like there's not enough out there to really cause an issue. But guess what? Like only 100 and just scumbags put them out and press them. And all of a sudden, this is what you get. And you can't confidently say one way or the other. I mean, if there's 100, then I mean, $5,000 would still be too much for that kind of book. I mean, it's a modern book. My God, it's just a cover, dude. It's a cover, It's not old. It hasn't gone through attics. It hasn't gone through wars. It's a 2-cent cover on an already pressed book, and you would spend $5,000 because you think it's rare. That's crazy. Look, God bless everybody who does it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You're right. Okay. Oh, I think I found it. Okay. I finally fucking found it. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, you're right. about a lot of that stuff. Here's the thing: we can't. Certain people like the rare variant game. That's just it is the way that it is what it is. Certain people like the rare variant game. So when Todd says, there are only like just how you said, if there's only 50 that we know of that were given out, the rest we're leaving up to the hands of the people that run this convention. Yeah, that's a red flag and a half right there. And so here's the thing. So somebody commented on Instagram on this post, and I was like, so what's going on today? Let me get to that. What's going on today is that in the past 24 hours, more than 50 copies have flooded eBay, and they all started on 24-hour bids. Okay. And so let me share.
By the way, I need to preface by saying, hey, collect what you love. Yeah, it makes it happy. Later on, I don't want to hear down this week. I'm collecting the ire of people going like, "Oh, okay, all right."
So watch. So check it out. Yeah, I'm not saying don't buy these. I'm just saying no. And I still have an opinion on the value of this book here, even after all of this. But
just don't say buy what you love. That's all.
But look, yeah, don't say that shit. Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this. Only 50. Only 50 on August 24th. Only
over
50
and over again.
On August 24th. Now this person here. So here's the fucking weird part.
It's the same book over and over again.
No, it's not. I looked at multiple ones. He's got every single. This guy's smart. He's been holding these back. He's got. I'm gonna tell you my theory, man. Here's what's going on. Okay, I want you to notice the screen. You see how there's a wooden background here?
Yeah. Wait, those are all from the same seller?
No.
Is that what you said?
No. So here's my theory.
John, if you mention a fucking multiverse, I'm out of here. Okay.
I'm not going to mention the multiverse.
I can't handle it again.
Not going to mention the multiverse. Okay. So hold on. Okay. Get the fuck off. Okay. So here's what I think happened. I think that two people had the majority of these books. What we know for sure is that Todd McFarlane, I think the only thing that Todd McFarlane knows for sure that we can take for granted is there were 200 produced. I do think Todd McFarlane knows the print production of his own comic. What happens after he gives those to other people, he has no right to comment on hearsay what happens to those books. But so I think if we trace it back to what is actually printed, I think there's 200 Spawn 306s printed because that's what Todd said was printed. And I would have more faith in. But what I think happened, somebody commented on Instagram, almost at Facebook. They're like, why would somebody release these all at once instead of slowly holding them back and let them trickle into the market? There's two sellers on there that are releasing these right now. And I guarantee you, so here's my fucking weird yawn to the fucking tax on the board theory. I think these two sellers knew each other and knew that each other had these books after, and somehow they acquired them after the convention or whatever the hell it was. And I think that they knew that they were going to release them. And they're like, well, I'm going to release mine. The other one's like, I'm going to release mine. And, and they just fucking put them all out there because once these hit the market, they're going to just dilute the whole thing. So I think it's something like that that's going on. And they just let it ride.
Look, I mean, I haven't read any of this. I mean, and I would tell you, I like more chaos of it just being one person. Let it just be one person going to different people. Hey, look, maybe different emails, different rooms of his house. You know what I'm saying? Look, just scroll quickly. Okay, the blue one, the white one, the blue one. Come on, keep going. Just scroll. Okay, we got blue, white, blue.
But it's underneath the same. It's underneath the same seller name. It's underneath the same seller name.
Wait, so what's going on? These are all sold, right?
Yeah, these are all sold. But I'm saying, like, so you've got two sellers here. You've got white background seller. You've got wooden background seller.
What about the blue background seller?
It's different lighting.
What?
Pretty sure. Let me see. See if it's the same seller.
Okay, so this
is the same seller. The blue background and the white background are the same seller. It's just different lightings when they flash the camera.
Bucky Books.
Bucky
this is where
Books.
this is where the movie is right here. The movie about how this guy gets to live, because there's some sort of comic book mafia out there right now on this guy. Whoever bought that book for $5,000 can definitely afford to have someone go talk to this guy.
So let's look. So let's see what these were sold. What these are selling for. Now here's the thing. People are like, oh well, look at this. You know, they're throwing money away. They're throwing money away. Here's the thing. It's still, if you trace it back to Todd McFarlane, what Todd McFarlane knows, it's still a 200 limited print count, which is just extremely rare. It's rarer than any Marvel book.
It's a dumb cover.
It's okay. It's okay. It depends. Gamers are crazy, man. Gamers will love this, especially if you meet that criteria of a Spawn lover and a gamer lover. I can definitely see somebody wanting to put the money in for this book. But
what is the bragging right
I'm
to say
looking
that
at
you got
it. It's okay. Okay, cover.
I think it's cool.
Come on, you guys.
I put in a bid on one. I didn't win, obviously, but I put in a bid. So look, so he put the condition on these 9.2. He grades harsh too. Just saying that. Just saying he grades harsh. I was looking at him. 9.2 or better sold for $308. A 6.5 sold for $133. Another 9.2 or better sold for $286.
I mean, this is amazing. What if
these today?
Hear me out, because eBay gives you the money pretty quicker than you have to mail it out. What if you only had 2 copies and he's just collecting all the money and he's out of here?
No, he didn't. He had them all listed. They all ended at different times. There's no way. 316. So this was selling for roughly $350 raw.
Dark Claw's in the house.
Dark Claw, what's up, man? Dark Claw, what you think, dude? What you think of the Spawn 306 debacle?
Dark Claw's gonna say, well, I made some pretty good money.
Probably have a documentary in a year or two about this.
They might.
I hope so, dude. I hope the guy gets to keep his life.
So yeah. So what's? I mean, I don't want to speculate on. We've thrown the guy's name out there, the seller name. So I don't want to speculate on what his motives are. But
to be a fucking legend, one way or the other. I mean, because
maybe
it would be cool to find the actual reality of what's going on here. 200 books. Hey, but what if Todd was wrong? I mean, when he's busy playing with he's playing with a bat wing and he doesn't see that it's actually 600 count and not 200 count. What if there's actually a lot more of those books out here? What if we added all these books up and all the ones out there, and there's 400 or 500 books out there? Then what do you do?
Well, no, let's see. Hold on. We can do that. Not all of that, but we can do that to a certain extent. Let's go.
Give Dark Claw the run real quick.
Dark Claw. Oh, basically super rare Spawn variant, rarest to be known in existence. Started in 2020 when COVID hit. There were only supposed to be 50 in existence, per Todd McFarlane, of what he assumed. And there were 73 graded. So the grading numbers already showed some sketchiness going on with the print count on this book. And then today, or the past 24 hours, over 50 have hit the market on eBay by 2 different sellers. So yeah, it's definitely not 50. So somebody pocketed some books. Somebody stole some books from this gaming convention and is now flooding the market with these things. And they're selling for $300 a pop. So it's pretty wild.
The guy who has a $5,000 book right now, what, John,
yeah.
What is going on in his mind right now? Somebody probably called him and was like, hey, Brett, your book. There's a few more out there right now.
Yeah. There's a lot more.
What?
You ever seen the movie City Slickers? You ever seen the movie City? The second one?
You're saying you want to go on a trip with us?
No.
I'm down.
What's that great line in the movie City Slickers? He's got friends.
I don't remember that, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's the one where Curly dies, right?
That's the first one. Curly's Revenge. I am talking about the second one.
The Curse of Curly.
The Curse of Curly. So I put in.
It's just crazy, because I mean, if it is 2 people, seriously, why are they putting all of them up at the same time? I mean,
well, because one was like, I'm gonna unload my books, and the other one's like, the fuck you are? I'm unloading my books, because whoever unloads last loses the game, so to speak.
I want this to be true. I really hope it's two guys that know each other and they're both just like playing
Right.
chicken and they just hey, here's a mad dash. It'd be cool to see like one seller's got a book who's like the auction ends in 6 days, 56 minutes. The other one has 6 days, 54 minutes.
Right. Like if you know each other and you know you're both are selling, but I don't want to like, okay, I'm not selling the other person's name. I don't know what their name is. I haven't even looked at it yet.
They're making a ton of money on the book.
They're making a ton of money. Yeah. So I don't know if they're like, but I would think if I'm familiar with this other person that has this stack of books that I have, like imagine you got the box and you're like, dude, there's fucking, all right, they gave 50 out. There's 150 here. I'm going to take 75. You take 75 and we just wait. And then one dude's like, dude, I got to pay for this thing. I'm going to load my books. He's like, no, don't do it. We said we weren't going to do it. And then he unloads his books. Shit like that can happen.
You said you weren't going to unload the books.
If they were in on it, they were in on it together, they should have just been like, all right, you do one first.
Right.
And then I'll do another one later.
Yeah.
Leroy.
Honestly, more it might even be more than that because more issues started to kind of trickle out too. Even before the past 24 hours, there were some more issues. So I mean, who knows? Who knows?
It's probably a bunch of people. I think it's just like a bunch of the staff.
Yeah. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. So the question is, if it's $200, I mean, I'm sorry, not $200. The question is, if it's a 200 print count, what is the value of that? I mean, shit, there are books that have way more print count than that sell for way more money than what these books are selling for. 200, like that's kind of my point. Is like 200, even if it is 200, it's still low. But this is not a good thing for the hobby, is my concern.
What was that quote you had? So rare, it's worthless.
So rare, it's worthless. Yeah, that's a thing.
I mean, I know that it doesn't feel like it should apply here, but if it's just such a weird gonzo thing, then this obviously took place during issue 306. I'm saying it makes about sense because he's probably in the 330s, 340s now. So obviously it's like, oh, the next book, 306. I mean, what's going on in the story? It has to do sometimes with that. It can't just be just that cover. I mean, sometimes it means something. 306, when it was at 300, it was a big deal, but 306, my kid was calling me, but so I mean, yeah, maybe it's so rare. It's kind of, it contradicts. I know what collecting is, but maybe it's untouchable because people just don't know. Maybe people want to know the counts before they spend money. If I thought there was 50 of them out there, then maybe $5,000 makes sense. But if I don't know if there's 200, 300, 400, well, then I'm not going to give you my money. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. So again, I think the only safe bet that we can take from this now is what Todd says. And Todd, I would think Todd should address. Todd is a comic book guy. He's not just a CEO. Like the dude is a comic book collector. And he respects the hobby. He's not just like, Marvel's too big for its own good. Marvel doesn't give a shit about print counts and people collecting certain things. They know our weakness. They know how we speculate on certain things, and they know how we like first appearances. And so they play on that, but they really don't care. I really genuinely believe Todd McFarlane does care about the comic collecting community. And he really should come out and address it. And somehow I think the best thing for the hobby is if Todd were to show, here's the proof that this is how many were printed. So obviously we dropped the ball by not affirming the destruction of 150 books, but here's the proof that only 200 were printed. And that's the best I can give you.
How do you prove that? With a receipt to Diamond or Penguin or whoever it is? What do you
I don't know. I'm not in the retail business. I don't know.
So, I mean, what do you... I hear what you're saying. And if you can come out and dispel the myths and the rumors about what the books are, because then you can get a concrete price on a book for sure. People will be like, okay, well, that's that's how much was going on here. But look, I'll be honest with you. I mean, giant size X-Men #1. Let's go back with the classic. How many were printed? It doesn't matter because they're so old now that the what people want dictates what the price is going to be. Yeah. So I think in a long way, the Spawn right here, it's just dictating by what people kind of want or how much they want it to collect it for the niche or the rarity of it. I mean, it's not a key book. Obviously, it's cool if you're a game collector. It's like those X-Men shoes that are out right now by Kith. Who makes them? Kith? You know what I'm talking about? The shoes.
Mm-mm.
There's these X-Men shoes. Okay.
Is it on eBay?
Yeah, but they're sold that's sold all over the place. But there's these X-Men shoes. You send them your money. Okay, KITH. I think it's called Kith, KITH. And these X-Men shoes, you order them in your size, and they send you a box. Okay, I don't think you get to pick what you're gonna look them up. I don't think you get to pick what you get.
I saw this, and then they give you a card with it.
And they give you a card, and if the card matches up with the shoe, everybody wants the Wolverine ones or something like that.
That's cool.
You know, like blue, yellow, and
hold on.
But
okay.
Kith, the Marvels, they come sealed in a box sealed. There they are, the Wolverine ones. They come with a card, a graded card with every one of them. You know,
it's cool. I think these were at Comic-Con, huh? Weren't these at San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah. But you don't know what you're getting. You just tell them the size, and then you pay a bunch of money for a pair of shoes that you may or may not like. You know,
if I was rich, I'd get it.
But see, the thing is with these shoes right here, it kind of plays in with the Spawn because like this is like a niche thing. But if I saw somebody wearing those shoes, I'd be like, oh, it's cool if they have them. Not for me. But I mean, I know you spent $212 on a pair of shoes, which is fine because people do that. It's cool. But I mean, but if you have a pair of Wolverines, which are the most sought after ones, people will see you and be like, damn.
That's just saying that is badass. Dude, you got a pair of Wolverines?
Yeah, a pair of Wolvies? Dude, you wearing Wolvies?
Right there. Those are the Cyclops. Find the Wolverine ones. They're really cool. They're the Weapon X colors. You know, they're the blue, yellow, and they kind of Cyclops, but those aren't them.
No.
That's Cyclops.
Oh, yeah, it's Cyclops, yeah.
It just feels like Cyclops, doesn't it? Kind of wimpy.
Let's see. What does Wolverine look like? Oh, these are cool. What is these? These are...
Those are the Cyclops.
No, not these.
Congratulations.
Is that Polaris?
It's Rogue. Congratulations.
Rogue, yeah.
You're a 40-year-old man who got the Rogue shoes. No.
That's funny.
But you don't get to pick
what
you get.
Wait, do they have Jubilee ones?
Shut up.
What is
What
that?
those are there? Those are Gambits right there. Does that make sense? That doesn't look like Gambit colors.
Dude, you know what I found on
Look at us looking at shoes.
I'll throw up this photo here.
The box is cooler than the shoes.
The boxes come sealed too. You have to pull a tab off to open them up.
These are my favorite shoes as a kid.
Come in a gray bag that are sealed up too.
These were my favorite shoes as a kid growing up. I saw some on Facebook the other day for $60. I almost bought them, but I didn't. Right here.
Oh, look at you! You're the bubbly shoe guy. You can wear big bubble shoes.
The Ken Griffey Juniors, dude. These shoes came out. My mom got them for me.
You had a pair?
I had a pair, dude. Of these exact, like not these exact ones, but
dude, you got to get them.
Yeah, this is pretty much done.
I remember I remember the way I was walking after I got these shoes. They were so important to me. I'm like walking to where nothing on the ground could ever like touch the bottom of the shoe. Like I was walking so delicately. And I would take off the laces slowly. Oh, dude, these were the greatest shoes in history for me as a kid.
Why did you look? And they're I get it. But why?
Why?
Okay, let's talk about like rarity and things. Why did you want those
as a kid? Well, I was collecting baseball cards and football cards, basketball cards. Ken Griffey Jr. was my all-time favorite baseball player ever. You remember the movie Little Big League? Do you remember that movie?
What a random player to like, by the way.
Ken Griffey? Dude's great.
One of the top 10 players of all time.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Ken Griffey was great. I liked Will Clark a lot. I like Kirby Puckett a lot. Darryl Strawberry. Yeah. I used to love.
How come you don't like baseball now? What's going on, man? Come on, I love baseball.
I don't know. I don't like watching it anymore. Yeah, I
don't know anything about baseball. All my baseball knowledge is from a Simpsons episode. That's all I got.
Used to love Frank Thomas.
The Big Hurt.
I tell you a crazy story. So my first ever collectible was baseball cards and football cards. And back in the day, I was probably 7 years old, but I was friends with kids that were older, a few years older, probably like 12. And so this is when baseball cards was going crazy in the 90s, which is similar to what happened with comics. And so these guys I used to hang out with would go to. I mean, I'm not going to say their names. Obviously, I don't even remember them barely.
Call
But
these guys out. Fuck them.
they would go and they would rob
Damn.
the target. They would not target. They would rob. They would steal from malls and all these stores. Toys R Us. They would steal boxes and boxes and boxes of baseball cards. And I would watch them, dude. And I would just be like, the little kids tagging along, dude. I would be like, oh my God, like, can I just have one pack? They would sit there and open packs in front of me, dude. I'm just like, oh my God. And they had a collection that is astounding at the time. I don't know what it is now, but yeah, they actually eventually got arrested. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. So anyway, I got into collecting cards, and then I love King Griffey Jr. and Frank Thomas, all those guys. And Griffey released some shoes, and I was like, I need these things. These are great.
Griff, the kid, the junior, yeah. And you wore your hat backwards too. Look at you,
dude. You better believe it. I had a Mariners hat.
Damn. Okay.
Oh yeah. All
right, Johnny. All right. So what do we got? Wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think we covered everything. King Griffey Jr., baseball, Ahsoka.
Here we go.
Thor
Spawn.
Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spawn. Oh yeah, Spawn. Touched on that. Anyway,
Johnny,
yeah, what's up?
Where are you at Invincible?
I am right after when Mark gets back from the Viltrumite War. He finds Adam. Spoiler alert! If anybody's not that far. Spoiler alert! Adam and Eve she's upset because she's heavy after she did not have their baby. Her baby got aborted. She aborted the baby, but she's still carrying that extra weight.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Mark just got back. Eve just admitted to him that she got an abortion. And she's heavy. She's heavy set.
Bro, where are you at on that book now? Are you feeling, what are you thinking as far as the story? Like, you're way into it. Am I right about Invincible? Or are you kind of like...
No, it's great. No, absolutely. I knew you were right before I finished it. Between the gap that I read, so I read up until a little bit after Omni-Man left Earth, right after him and Mark's fight. So if you've watched the TV show, it basically ends right after him and Mark's fight. That's kind of where I almost stopped reading in the omnibus, in the comics. And I knew when I saw Omni-Man flying away with tears in his eyes, I was like, this is a story worth reading. Yeah. It's just a great conflict there.
A little scrappy book that may do good things one day, you know?
It already has.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's like something that I wish it could be revisited, but it really can't, the way it ends, you know?
What's that?
Invincible. I mean, it's always going to be from the past now. It can't be from the future going forward. You know, there's no, you can't go back into the universe really and, you know, go forward. And I can't say anything because it's a spoiler alert, but it just basically, you know, the last Harry Potter kind of goes like that, you know, without giving it away. It can't go forward.
Sure.
Damn it. I just brought up Harry Potter in our fucking Into the Void. Damn it. I can't believe I just brought up Harry Potter. We've done King Griffey Jr. Harry. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's I remember that episode we had when like you had my daughter in here talk about Harry Potter for 30 minutes.
Was she talking about Harry Potter?
Y'all were talking about Harry Potter, like some Harry Potter stuff.
That's Crystal's realm.
Oh God. Anyway. All right, cool. I'm done.
All right. Don't forget on your way out, hit the like button. Wait, I'm sorry, wrong one. Hit that like button.
Hit that one. Yeah.
Yep. And Video Sunday drop in. This is Freaks in the Sheets. Crazy comic book characters. Ones that will make you scratch your head thinking, why in the hell did they make this person?
Don't forget your homework, everybody out there. Everybody out there, you have homework. You need to come back here with like 3 or 4 ridiculous characters from comic books. And we can talk about them and laugh about them and have a good time for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll do a podcast on Freaks. The Crystal Realm. Absolutely, Rob. That is definitely the Crystal Realm. Harry Potter. Oh, hold on. Wait. Fingers and Toes says King Griffey's shoes look like the shoes Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future 2. They are reminiscent of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much. And
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, hold on. Wait, I got to sign off now.
Oh, but wait for thanks, Jono. Thanks, Jono.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jono on IG, Silver _Server 26, right?
Yep. Thank you.
He has been
Awesome.
posting stuff. He's posting things. Whenever he posts things, he posts pictures of comic book pages, and I
Mhm.
feel like it's very important. Like he's speaking to us all, and that we should all be paying attention. You know, he
Nice.
posts
No,
things
it's more of just like a favorite kind of panel of either the book or the week or something like that.
I'm still standing where I'm at, man. Like it's something important to you, so we should all be paying attention.
Hell yes.
Go follow him on IG. You'll see what I'm talking about. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, that'll do it for this issue on the Paper Chase channel. See you on the next page.